Hello, ladies and grenadines. Neon is back. Another video. Today, doing Hooru Midrange. You can probably see that right up above me. You're doing a little bit later today. I had some work stuff to do in the morning to early afternoon, so a little bit later of a time for doing this. But you know, I'm in the mood for hanging out with you guys and playing some Eternal card games. I'm also number 666 on the leaderboard right now. Very important feature, very important number right there. This looks like a keep. It's not great, but we're keeping it. That is an aggressive start, so I'm probably just dead. Well, we had a good run. Our undefeated record was going to be done already. I'm obviously kidding. This deck is solid. This deck is reasonably good. We are on, of course, a mid-rangey Hooru deck, highlighted and headlined rather by Sediti, the Killing Steel, as the top end finisher. This has kind of been a point of interest in these various decks of what is the finisher, what is the top end for the various decks. This draw is actually pretty solid here because it restricts the amount of blown out I can get here. Can't get something like a Warhelm or whatever. Still have problems, though. I got problems. Very likely going to be playing the Poaching Drake on the Highland Sharpshooter very, very soon. Interesting. This is obviously telegraphing a Finest Hour. I am not going to... Okay, so yeah, it was either Finest Hour or Torch. I obviously did not want it to be Finest Hour if I was blocking the Hojon, because then they would get an extra power, and they're obviously struggling on power, too. Notorious Scoundrel. I have a hard time believing that it is correct to play that card. I have played this card. This card is not good. Well, my opponent has stuck on 2 power, and I think that that's the only reason I'm going to win. If they had been able to curve out, I would have been probably pretty dead. It's tempting to block here, but I kind of want to get another 6/6. No, don't do that first. Do not do that first. Anything but that. Technically, this sequencing is wrong, because I should have done the crest first in order to see what my top card was, in case that influences my play. Also, if there was a, like, for instance, a CDT on the top, I would have probably kept that instead. It might have been better to keep my Crown Watch tactics in the case of, like, of combat. My opponent's just dead now, though, because they can attack with everything, and then what happens here is I block this, I do not die, and then I attack back for 12. Because that's how math works. Hey, we got another mirror image. Our images are just infinitely mirrored. Easy game. This is what happens when your opponents are stuck on 2, even when they're on Rakano aggro. No longer 666. Gonna try and push for that 420 mark. I do want to talk a little bit about CDT. Yeah, sure, let's keep it. Didn't think about it very hard. But the Oh, that's actually pretty decent, especially if I'm against a controlling deck. Okay. Well, the thing I was saying before I was interrupted, with my computer trying to crash itself, was so I am on the version of this deck that I think it was Tobu who played to the winning the ETS this past weekend. It is a version of the deck that I have mixed feelings about. There are a variety of the cards in the deck that I just don't think are very good right now. The biggest one is Kothon, which you saw that I already played to the bottom. I think I'm going to hold this so they don't have Torch. I didn't want them to play Hojon into Torch because I would really like to be able to levitate him. Do not charge me. Okay, that's nice of you. I appreciate that. So they're just dying to the pause. I love it. Okay, well, there was just a glitch there. So going from 666 to 600, but it was actually going from 643. This is what happens when you drop out. So I guess that this deck, what we've learned so far is this deck is very good against Rakano aggro decks. That's definitely what we can take away from this, and that is precisely, an unequivocal meaning to this. To these games, no premature concessions, no fluke games with our opponent stuck onto the entire time. We've learned a lot. This is definitely keepable, especially because of Hojon. This is a hand though where if I don't get if I get really pressured, or if they have a torch, then I would have been concerned. They still could have a torch, of course. But I am pretty happy with this, because again, the fact that I'll be able to carve out with my Mr. Hojon. All right, you have to play power first, Neon. I talk to myself a lot, by the way. I don't know if you guys have figured this out about myself, or not myself, about me. Is that I really do enjoy talking to myself in real life too. And people, I don't think everybody appreciates it. That was wrong. I should play my levitates first. One of them at least. Because I could have had a crest there. Defiance. Yeah. What a fun card. I'm going to cycle this. Okay. I am going to play out the Approaching Drake next turn. Because they also, like these are both pretty good things to keep around. Merchant, I would really like to be able to hit myself some palace action. This is actually pretty decent to transform. It could be better, but it's not bad. Like if they have something like Mirror Image, it's pretty nice. I'm hoping they do not have a Rune Hammer. That's the main weakness of Poaching Drake. Poaching Drake is not a card that I think is very good, for the record. It is one that they are playing in these decks nowadays. Like they are playing in the Hooru Midrange decks. I'm just not convinced, though, that it's a playable card. So we're doing this. Sure. This is nice, though. Now I am immune to Harsh Rule. Or to Rune Hammer. I'm not immune to Harsh Rule. That's the one that I was thinking of. I was worried about. The reason I'm keeping Mirror Images is it's just, like, very good under certain circumstances. And like, I have decent amount of threats on board. What is my opponent getting? This has got to be a Palace. I'm doing this to keep him from flying. This is actually really good, assuming that my opponent did not get harsh rule and they got Palace. Fuck. That's the only thing I can say there. Brutal. Oh, right, I have the fucking curse on me, too. God damn. Yeah, now I'm in a lot of trouble. I'm in a lot of trouble because I just misread things a little bit. I thought that they were a little bit more mid-range. I should have just assumed that they were getting harsh rule, to be frank, because it is something that, like, harsh rule is so good in an SCDT deck. I don't know why harsh rule isn't in the market for this one. It seems like a good card to have access to. I mean, I guess that Pristine Light is supposed to be a proxy for that. Throwing Warden. Can we all talk about how dead I am? Tough break partner. Yep. Can we have a discussion about how dead I am? Yeah, I think that now that I'm thinking about it, I don't, especially how my draws have panned out these last couple of turns. Like, these have been really rotten draws. So I don't know if I should. I'm trying to think of whether I had a chance to win this game, assuming that I didn't make that particular misplay. I'm feeling like I didn't. This is a bad matchup for sure. I'm going to play out exactly one more turn, assuming that nothing interesting happens. I am going to call it. I think that basically I have to do something like find. I don't know, man. I have no counterplay to this. Actually, I guess I have Palace as a decent counterplay. It's actually quite a strong counterplay. Oh, hey, my opponent has Palace. Very fun and interactive card. I mean, I joke, obviously, but the card is very, very good. Draw 2, not even attacking me for 4? What a monster. Tough break, partner. Yeah, we're done here. Yeah, that was, I think... I'm just wondering whether or not it was a mistake in the sense that, like, obviously it turned out badly playing into harsh rule like that. I knew it was a possibility, but I kind of had decided that they were a little bit more mid-rangey of a deck, given the fact they had Siditi. It's hard to tell with their decks nowadays. Like, maybe their only harsh rule was in the market. Because it would have been, because they played the Rhyme Valley one. So that's kind of right. This one's hard. I really don't know how I feel about that decision in retrospect. God, I hate Kothon. Sure. I don't think this deck has quite enough enablers for Hojon. I think it could really use some extra ones. They're really not very many. Like, Levitate is the biggest one. And then Palace, but that doesn't really count. Palace is everything. Siditi, on the other hand, I have played a few games with this one. Oh, it's Rakano, man. 100% win rate against Rakano. Easy matchup. That's what we learned. Yes, good. Hojang. They really have to kill it, and I like the idea of kind of making them do something. Yeah, doing a turn 2 torch as opposed to playing out a 2-drop feels pretty good. It'll also make it harder for them to kill the pacifier. So they're on a mid-range deck, so it's not aggro. Ooh, the old treasure pass on turn 3. Yeah, I think it is so important for me to get the Siditi in play next turn if I can. So that's why I went for the Justice Sigil as opposed to playing at the second Kothon. I just think that they... Oh, baby, we did it. Like, especially against a deck like whatever it is that my opponent is playing. I think that the Kothon, as I said already, is trash. So, I don't really think that my board position was in desperate need of a Bold Adventurer. Having a better chance of hitting Siditi next turn is much more likely to be impactful. They are in a piss ton of trouble. Red Valley Smuggler is a start. I am going to get a chance to draw a card here. Okay, so there are two possibilities, basically, of what they got. It was either something to, kill Siditi, or, like Harsh Rule. It could be something that kills this as well. So Harsh Rule is kind of the thing that I would hypothetically be the most scared of, and I think that actually this play here makes me the best possible to Siditi, or to Harsh Rule. The reason why is, A, they do have to hit the power next turn off the top, but then B, they would have to, they're not going to be able to deal any damage to me that next turn. So I'm going to draw, this turn, so I'm going to draw a card. And they're probably they're going to have a hard time next turn as well. And having both the Palace and the Siditi Curse in play means that they actually have a really powerful tension there where they can attack both me and the Palace. So it ends up being something that I put them into a really awkward position by playing that out, and then it helps to set up kind of the future turns. And they're just going to be a little bit too far behind on both card advantage and tempo there. So even though I do throw away some card advantage in the Harsh Rule, it just really protects me against if they have just a couple pieces of spot removal, or if they got the relic removal spell, and then I'm going too slowly. This is a hand that is unkeepable because it has Kothon, and that card is bad. I think I should actually spell this out. I was why I think the card is bad, because I'm just shitting on it kind of mercilessly. I can't keep this hand. It has 2 of my worst cards in it. This is actually decent. It could go okay. And this could fall pretty flat too, but relative to a 6-card hand, I'm not going to complain that much. Okay, so Kothon, why I think it's bad. It's on the one hand, I don't think that a 2/3 for 2 with no additional text is an acceptable card to play any longer. So you really have to have some additional text on the card for it to be fine. It's just too mediocre. There was actually a time, when Kothon first came out, the 2/3 endurance, especially against the types of aggro decks that we were seeing back then, was pretty strong because Oni Ronin was really good. Oni Ronin is just not good anymore. In my mind, there's even the only premier aggro-ish deck that sees play is the is Skycrag. And that card is... Well, I'm definitely... So I'm going to obviously pause that train of thought. I'm expecting that they have Tim. What in the world? So they are a Paladins deck, I suppose. This one's a hard one. Trying to figure out what would be in your deck. I'm not going to get Sudeti'd here. What? Deal 3 pass? Okay. This is a really good turn, actually. They might have been counting on being able to play a spell and or weapon here. So the fact that they don't have neither is actually sick. That doesn't work, because this is a 4-drop, correct? Yes, it's a 4-drop. Guys, I don't know what's happening. I really don't. If somebody could explain this game to me, I would appreciate that. Anyway, Kothon was good in a metagame where 2-3 endurance was very strong. Now I think that it has a much more limited range of games where it's actually effective. This is probably pretty good. I like the idea of trading. Kind of tricks them into playing that. On here, they do ramp up, but then I can kill it. What a weird fucking game. So yes, like it was effective blocker with it. It's not anymore. The 4/4 flyer for 6/2 is also not very interesting anymore in my mind. Okay, this is this is the joke. Okay, so now we are at chains level. Huh. Okay. That should be most of their Justice Sigils. They're probably out. Maybe they have 1 or 2 more. I can take 8 for sure. I just draw some cards, which I think is going to be the important part. The big thing is that I just can't hit by chains. If I get hit by chains, then I'm fucked up. Actually, I guess that there are, like as I said, because being out of Justice Sigils means it's much better. But yeah, like I just like against the modern Stonescar aggro decks, he's not very good. He's a little too small, like because they tend to start at 2/3 themselves as their smallest body. I guess they have 3/2s because they have that when they had the market, but like even that's like not that interesting. The flood out protection too is also not as interesting either too, because we have merchants. Nowadays, like having the flood protection was so important back in the day. It really isn't anymore. Endurance too. There's just a lot of free endurance now with Hooru, like given the fact that you have Palace, so it's not as useful as an ability. Continue. Jesus. Guess I was wrong on that should be all of their Justice Sigils thing. I'm not taking any damage though, so that's good. Unless they like torch me here. Oh, they're gonna whatchamacallit. Order? Help? I mean, I'm dead. I guess I have some outs here. Pristine Light is really good against them. Yes. That is not a target I was concerned about. How many fucking Justice Sigils do you have? Yes. I'm going to block. Okay, that's all their Justice Sigils. Okay, well this is useful. I think that you're supposed to be attacking with this still, though, because you gain just infinite life. Okay, here. This. Okay, so I gain... Yeah, okay, so I am going to take damage. There's no way for me to stop that. Okay, so this goes here. This goes here. Okay, so I am alive. I need to hit a merchant this turn, though. No, I don't. Yes, I do. That does not count. That does not count. Oh, man. I mean, I drew like fucking shit. That was also a game I was on a mulligan, too. So, all things considered, I don't think that I can really complain. That was that matchup's probably... Oh, man. I think that matchup looks really bad. It looks like your power base has got to be really messed up. They look like they had 10 Justice Sigils in their deck. I once saw a banana. Once I saw a banana. Right. Want to respect that. This hand is absolute garbage. fine. I think that the big thing for me is like why I really don't like Kothon is that it just doesn't solve any problems of the deck. Like there's so few situations that I'm just like, man, I wish I had a Kothon. And you have something like interesting, okay, and you have something like the Dust Crater as another thing that you can use that fills a similar slot. That actually like randomly wins you the game sometimes, basically. Treachery. Sure. My opponent is on a Felnscar control deck, it looks like. Right, I forgot that takes sites now. That's pretty annoying, to be frank. A worthy opponent. Hoping that I was play this out so that I couldn't hit their Vara. That will go on the bottom. I feel as if I have enough power. My main issue of getting Palace is I feel like I'm going to get treachered. There's part of me that wants to get Pristine Light instead. Then again, Pristine Light is not nearly as good when there is a... Should have attacked. I don't know why I didn't. A Merchant in play. A Maiden in play. I don't think that this was right. Yeah. I regret my decisions now. Pristine Light would have been fucking excellent here. Let's hit them for 7. Right, the Aegis is going to stay around too. Forgot about that. Sure. This is a fair trade. Draw 2. Cannot get hit by another. It's going to do this now because they're out of power. I was obviously setting this up to try to bait them into it. Yeah, no blocks. What are you up to? That's a good question. I don't really know. I feel like I'm just looking to buy time. Because they just have like way more power than me. Because I have this fucking Pokken Drake in hand that doesn't do anything. Ugh! That's really bad for me. Soaking up a lot of damage here, which is good. Oh, okay. Well, I get a draw two. Merchant. Like, in these games, they've done nothing. They've done nothing. We watched, if you guys have been watching these games, right? They did absolutely shit. I should have at least put back the banner, though. That was just a mistake. They are just 3/4s. 4/3s. 4/3 flyers for 4. Like, I don't want to play that card. I'm convinced that it's just bad. If I get torched here, then I'm dead. And I feel like that might be what they were setting up for. Well, this feels correct. Gotta be Annihilate. Oh, sure. Ice Bolt, whatever. Shit, same shit. Same shit. That's a good card. I am going to attack them, hoping to debate them. If I was attacking the peak, I think that they would definitely block. But because it was this, it was fishy. I fucking love it. Oh, what a greedy play. That was so greedy. Yeah, and I was not dead one way or another, but man, that was a really tight one. I'm not gonna die here. Unless they have some like weird charge unit that I'm not thinking of. I mean, also if they just drew like Torch, then I will die as soon as I take a game action. My next turn. That is spooky. That is spooky. What do they tend to have in their markets? I really have no idea. They could have a lot of shit in their market. Like, this is obviously an unusual-ish deck that my opponent is playing. Like, not like in the sense that I'm not trying to insinuate it's bad. I think it's a perfectly fine deck. Not what I would play in most versions that I've seen, but okay. What? As if they concede there. How do you concede there? You had so many ways to win. I was at 3 life. 3! Okay, maybe they're just... couldn't take any more of my stalling. I mean, I had decisions to make there. Man, that was close. Okay, well, I think that was my 5 games. I don't have a lot of time today, so if this was a little bit shorter than usual, I apologize. But I do have to get on with other shit that I have to do with my day. But I do want to sort of give a bit of review of this deck. I mean, I didn't really talk too much about many of the details of it because I think people are more or less acquainted with what's going on in a deck like this. This is not new technology. This is not a new deck for people have been kind of identifying that Hooru Midrange-ish was a really good deck going into the challenge that's happening this weekend, the Masters Challenge, Masters Ranked Challenge. The deck is definitely good. CDT is a very powerful card. I had not played against him a lot on the ladder for whatever reason. So like my real first experience was playing it with myself in this deck. He rocks. He is a very good card. It is very easy to get it active. I think people play around it incorrectly a lot. We saw, for instance, that game where I baited them into a play that I think was I think that it might have won me the game. That play. I mean, one could argue whether or not I was supposed to win that game because I think that my opponent conceded a little bit prematurely there, but that particular move was really important in being able to win the game. That was actually really cute too. Just something like if I attack the site, there's a 100% chance that he blocks it or they block it. But if I attack face, then they might not see the line and they might not figure it out. But anyway, that will do it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Very important deck to keep an eye on. If you're trying to do anything competitive over the next little while, this deck is good. I think that the Cothons are bad. I think that I would change them with Tusk Raiders because it's just a more powerful card. In general, the Drakes felt a lot like 4/3 flyers for 4. And I just don't want to play that card. That's like comparing that to something like Shelterwing Rider. I mean, I guess we saw a lot of Vara. So that might be a reason to say that we don't want Shelterwing Rider. That I'm not sure about of exactly what you want in that position. Maybe it's just Svechia. Svechia would have been pretty good. We could imagine. I could imagine playing that main deck right now because there's a lot of controlling style decks that we saw, or decks that also play weapons too. So maybe that's right. I'm not sure, but I just know that I'm pretty certain that poaching Drake is bad. But that will do it. Take care, everybody. Lovely to have you all.